Good evening, afternoon, nighttime, 2 in the morning, first waking up, wherever you are. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in to another episode here on the channel of V-Gaming. I'm your host, The Save Ranks. Day late and dollar short as usual. Today's video, we're going to be covering Matt Piscatella, and we're going to be looking at the top 15 games played on Xbox and PlayStation, and on Steam in North America. So what we're going to do here is we're going to scroll down this page here. Oh, look. New games on Game Pass? Sharing indies on Xbox. Ready or Not. I played that on PC. Neverwinter Nights 2. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. You got a mention on Jeopardy.
You're a composer kind of on the side, but there's a particular genre of music you enjoy, right?
Yeah, I like to arrange the video game music from my childhood.
What games, for example?
I feel like my deep cut would be there's this board game RPG hybrid called Dokapon Kingdom, but like overall, I really like all the games that the Scottish composer Grant Kirkhope has done, and I was like really surprised to see a few years ago that the game Banjo-Kazooie showed up like in a Clue once. No one got it.
So you should have a YouTube channel playing these things on your new marimba at some point, right?
Yeah, good segue.
That's great. Our returning champion is Scott.
That's pretty cool. Banjo-Kazooie. I didn't know that guy did that. Okay, where he falls down. Giving away 3 games. If it's publisher sale. It's giving away 3 games. Galactic Deadlock is free on Steam right now. We're going to fire up Steam. We're going to grab that. I love these types of games. I haven't played Stellaris in a while because it's getting kind of busy. Let's take a look-see. Sorry, this video turned into something else. Automation Fest. I love automation type games. What was the game they said? Battlestar Galactica. Oh, it's a Battlestar Galactica game? Come on. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. Free. Oh. What? Add to account. That's pretty cool. Play now. Alright. See, we're getting distracted. Edge of Fate, New Destiny. It's a PlayStation game. Anyway, we'll come back to this. That's not why we're here. I got distracted. Dang you, Matt Piscatella. Here we are, 1 day ago. Ooh. Crime spotted on BBC Breakfast this morning. Ah! This is an NES game inside the Super Famicom. This is a North American NES game inside of a PAL region Super Nintendo. Ah! Oh my! I gotta look away. I can't look at that. I can't look at that. That is a crime. Okay. So Matt Piscatella, for those that don't know, he is the executive director and video game industry analysis for Circana MPD Group, formerly of Activision and Warner Brothers Games. Once again, Matt, I have to ask you: did we pass each other in the hallway? Because I worked for Warner Brothers Games here in Kirkland, Washington. Were you ever up here? We'll take a look. I keep meaning to ping him and ask him because we may have crossed paths. So this is for top 15 titles by weekly active users total, not concurrent. Not the peaks, but the total number of players for the week ending July 5th. You see right here? Today's the 15th, so this is for this week ending here. 4th of July was that Friday, and then the 5th was right here. Mecha Break launches on Steam US and 12th on Xbox. 11th on Steam and 12th on Xbox. Both of these have Game Pass options, but look how high up they still were. Diablo 4 jumps to 10th on PlayStation. That's an Xbox game on PlayStation because of a PS Plus ad. Do you see Xbox complaining and saying that their game is unsustainable to publish on PlayStation because it's on PS Plus? But then all the PlayStation fanboys say that it's unsustainable to put their games over there, even though MLB The Show had its biggest year ever in 2020 when it was on Game Pass. Call of Duty World War II hits 8 on Xbox with Game Pass. Peak is number 1 on Steam in Mexico. Okay, so we're going to start off with the consoles here. As usual, Here on the right in the blue, we have the PlayStation. Here on the right. Here on the left in the blue, we have the PlayStation. Here on the right in the purple, we have the Xbox. So let's look and see. Call of Duty and Fortnite, they just trade back and forth between first and second. Same thing happened over here. Same thing happened over here. NBA 2K, Roblox, Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, Marvel Rivals, Madden, WWE, Diablo 4, EA College Sports, Siege, Apex, Rocket League, Dead by Daylight. So let's see how many PlayStation games are in the top 15. None. Let's see how many Xbox owned games. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 in the PlayStation list. It's like most of the list stayed solid, stayed stagnant. 3 was the same. These two switched places. 3 was the same. These two switched places. Same. These two switched places. Well, no. And pretty much the same. Nothing too shocking in there besides Diablo jumped from 94th to 10th. So, over here on the Xbox side, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Roblox, GTA, Minecraft, NBA 2K, Siege, COD, WWE2, Marvel Rivals, Madden, Forza, Mecha Break, College Football, Dead by Daylight. So how many Xbox games and Xbox owned games are on here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the top 30 games, there's 7 Microsoft owned games. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. They almost have a third of the top 30. And keep in mind that these top 15 games represent 40% of all, almost half of all total video game playtime on consoles is these games. What was that stat that just came out that I saw? Something like over the course of a month, almost a quarter of all console players played Call of Duty in some form. And then meanwhile, over on Steam in that same month, what was it, like 15% of all Steam users fired up Counter-Strike at least once? That's insane. There's 140, 150 million people on Steam. 15% of that is like almost 20 million people fired up Counter-Strike in a month. That's crazy. So let's take a look at what games are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the top 15 games are the same game. You guys want to sit here and argue over their console wars, you're playing the same exact games. And actually, you guys are playing Call of Duty more than them playing it over here because there's simply more PlayStations in the wild. Okay, so moving along. Let's look at the Steam North America. These are always interesting. So here's Steam in North America. Over here you have USA, and you have Canada, and you have Mexico. So we got Counter-Strike, 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 Peak. Marvel Rivals, Marvel Rivals, Marvel Rivals, Helldivers 2, Helldivers 2, Helldivers 2. Keep in mind this is the 7th largest PlayStation game of all time. And did we see it here? Do you see it anywhere here? No? Look at it on PC. Getting absolutely carried. Dune. What is this? Pretty derpy. The Mexican charts always have like some goofy stuff going on. I guess compared to everywhere else. Night Rain. Rocket League. And I must point out, like I do every single week, see Rocket League at number 7, number 8, and number 15 here? They have not sold a copy of Rocket League on Steam since 2020. When Epic bought them, after about a year or so, they pulled Rocket League off of Steam. So they haven't been able to sell it. There's not been a copy of Rocket League sold on Steam in almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years, I think, in September, as of the recording of this video in July 15th. So these numbers right here are people that bought that game at least 5 years ago, and it's still there. So that goes to the longevity of these live service games. Repo. Dead by Daylight. Mecha Break. And it's in here. Baldur's Gate 3. Not a big fan of it here in Mexico. Siege, Siege, Siege. Warframe, Destiny 2. Okay. And in Canada, their separate ones are Dota 2, Warhammer 40k Darktide, Rematch. And what's this Unamase Pretty Derby? We're going to have to look that up. Dead by Daylight, Balatro still hanging in there in Mexico. Left 4 Dead 2 is still excellent game. It's just strange to see it on here. Monster Hunter Wilds is still hanging around. Overwatch 2 is still on here. Call of Duty is kicking it on here. And Pretty Derby. I have to look up this Pretty Derby game. Excuse me. Pretty Derby. It's free. What is this? Is ready to race. Scout feature trainees and supporters as you navigate the immense world like simulation of the game. What in the world? Are you horse racing waifus? What in the world is this? You're training waifus to what? Anime, cute, sports, free to play horses. You know what? Add to library. You know what? Play game. We're going to install this bad boy. I got to try this out. Oh boy. Okay. Number 15 in Canada. Oh, look at that. And number 14 in Mexico. I'm going to have to try that game out. So, what do y'all think about all this? Pretty crazy, right? With everything going on in the world and gaming and all that kind of stuff. Let's read some of these. Any clue how DS2 is doing? Most curious. DS2. Death Stranding 2. Like I tell my friend, while it's selling well, I do not anticipate it will show up on the top user charts like these. They simply look for new games to show up here. So you're telling me that peak reached the peak. I was selling to a friend of mine, my Sony Pony friend. He was like, we got Death Stranding 2 coming out. And I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, no one cares about Death Stranding 2. It's all about these games. Mostly. And the games of its ilk. You will get the occasional ones that pop in there, like Diablo 4, Mecha Break. What was the other one? Assassin's Creed, Shadows. You will get those games that pop in there. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, look, you might get, you get your odds and ends, you get your Baldur's Gates, you get your Dark Tides, you get your Unamase Pretty Derbies, you get your Balatros, you get those, but for the most part, you're getting these games. So in the grand scheme of things, when you look at gaming across the world, no one cares about Death Stranding 2, relatively. Yeah, you might see it in there's niche and a lot of people talking about it, but in the grand scheme of things, no one cares about Death Stranding 2. Same thing I tried to explain this to my friend back in 2013. No one really cares about The Last of Us. You PlayStation guys love it and the press loves it, but when you look at the grand scheme of gaming, oh, I'm popular. Hang on a sec. When you look at the grand scheme of gaming, there's 600 million console players and almost 1 billion PC players. What The Last of Us first one sold, 25 million units? 25 million out of almost 2 billion players. No one cares about The Last of Us when it comes down to it. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation for a whole different day. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe here to the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe and leave a comment, good or bad. Doesn't really matter. Thumbs up or thumbs down. It's up to you. Thanks for stopping by. Holler at us on the Twitter and holler at us on the Steam group, both V-Gaming. Y'all be good. Have a good one. Peace out.